This video is sponsored by Surfshark, but more about them later. This is an iconic Mark1 Ford Escort RS2000. A car that came to us just wanting a few panel replacements. But since then, it's having a fully comprehensive restoration with just about every panel being replaced or being repaired. In this video, we're going to get that floor pan in, we're going to get these sill sections on and the strengtheners, the jacking point strengtheners, and see how close we can get to getting that rear quarter on. Right, so the first thing we have to do is we have to trim out all this rust. Now it is a little bit deeper than the other side was, so it's going to be in a different place. Now we're going to do that vaguely. We're just going to cut along here, all the way along here, where we're taking this transition here as well, and down here. That gets the metal out of the way. But we do have to leave all these brackets, including these ones that have been really ugly cut, and the relocated gear shift, because they are all original to the RS2000. So they actually show that this shell is a real RS2000 shell. So we have to retain them. So we're just going to cut round them, then cut the skin off of the opposite side, so that when we lay the floor section in, we can then weld them back onto the floor pan. But before we do that, there's all these edges to clean up as well, because they do have lapped panels that were just cut off. So all them need cleaning up. This needs trimming on, and then we can offer the floor pan up. Well, some of you ask if we ever have a holiday with so many projects going off at the same time. Well, as my wife is Vietnamese, we do occasionally holiday in Hanoi, Vietnam. So as I never stop working and still have to access my YouTube creator account and upload videos, I want to thank Surfshark for sponsoring this video and for letting me do this safely. With Surfshark, I can set my virtual location to the UK and access everything without being blocked. I can even watch my Netflix UK programs and films. Also, Surfshark secures your online data when you use a free public Wi-Fi by masking your IP address so your location and your download history aren't linked to your identity. And Surfshark's Clean Web feature blocks ads, trackers, malware and phishing attempts, allowing you to safely surf the web. Also, Surfshark does not monitor, track or store anything you do online. So click the link in our description below or use the code YorkshireCar at the checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark virtual private networking. And now, let's get back to the build. Right, so these, what look like extra metal where it's been spot welded, are actually dents from the other side where it's pulled it through. So if I just grind that off, that's actually going to leave a hole. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a dolly, we're going to pop it behind so I've got something to bash against, and we're just going to tap them down first before we clean this up. So now what we've got to do is we've got to go inside the car and we've got to separate this floor pan from this bracket. Now we're going to leave this bracket in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut just through the floor pan, a line across here from the inside, and then chisel this off. And we're going to do the same on this one and this one. But there's also a little bit of welding that's been done here. We're also going to clean that up, and we're going to get these corners as well. Right, so next thing to do is to trim down the floor pan so we can get it offered up in here, mark it off, get it back out again, trim it a little bit closer, pop it in, and see where we'll go from there. Right, so for first test fit, this side fits really, really good. It is a little bit away from the chassis rails, just like the other side was, but again, that's nice and easy. It just needs a little bit of weight in there to push it down. We'll probably use some clamps. Now there's a little bit we do have to do here, as well as a little bit of reshaping on this, because it's a little bit bent out of proportion. Also, a little bit of the metal that I haven't cleaned off of here on the original floor pan. And the corners there, I need to do them, but it looks pretty good. So we're going to take it back out, we're going to clean those little areas up, trim these little bits back on, get it back in, see if we can mark it up. Right, so we've had the floor pan in and we've marked a line off. Now, to give ourselves a little bit of safety net, we're going to cut the good side of this. So we're going to leave some metal on there, because at the moment this metal is keeping the floor pan out. So we're going to cut some of this metal off, probably 1/2 inch, try it up again, mark it off again. Right, so here's a classic case of why you leave that extra 1/2 inch on your cuts. Now, at first glance, it does look like that cut is spot on. But when we push this down to the bracket, as you can see, we've just left enough metal to make this gap work. The same is here, you can see there's just enough metal. Once this bracket that's underneath here, this floor pan is pushed down onto that bracket, it then lets the floor pan drop down. Now, when these sides were on, all the way down here, it was actually keeping this floor pan off. Once we've cut them off, it's then now sunk down, and as I say, literally there, that's pushed right down. It's only just long enough, even with that extra 1/2 inch still on. So as this floor pan is standing off a little bit, what we're going to do to keep it in place, we're going to pop some tacks on it before we redraw that line in for where his cuts are going to be. We also need to take the floor pan out again because we need to drill all these chassis rails as well as these back sections ready for welding in. Right, so let me show you what we're doing with joining these panels up butt weld wise. Right, so as you can see, we go on this angle, these are all now flush. But what we start with, as you can see here, this panel here is overlapping this panel. It's actually going inside and it's sat on the top. So what we're doing, we're leaving these welds in, and then we'll cut between here and here. We'll flush this panel by pushing it in or prising this one out. We'll pop a weld here, we'll do the same here, and then we're going to split this one and do the same here. So eventually all this along here will be level just like all that is. Now the waist, if we show you, the waist will just be trimmed off from the inside a little bit later. Now that the floor's in place, there is a little bit of repair we do have to do here, but we're going to do that at the front. What we're going to do next is we're going to concentrate on the sill and the rear quarter panel. Now, not promising we're going to get that sill and rear quarter panel on, because when offering them up, there is still a lot of bits around the edges to finish off. But what we're going to do, because this sill panel and this quarter panel both have the same parts on, basically this sill goes right to the edge, but the quarter panel also goes right to the floor, so we don't need this bit. So what we're going to do is first we're going to offer up the quarter panel and see what little bits that we've got to make for that, because there's going to be lots of edges, lots of trimmings, things like that. But also this goes here but this is the wrong side. I made this for the other side, so we've got to echo this. This is the jacking point support, and this one goes on there like that. Again, that's a jacking point support. So we're going to get them on. I'm going to make this for this side, and then we're going to offer up this rear quarter panel. In fact, we're probably going to offer it up before so that we can see whereabouts this needs to be, and hopefully get something tacked on. Now, we'll probably get to where we're going to trim the sill section and get that offered up as well. But whether we get it welded on, I don't know. We'll probably run out of time, but we'll give it a go. Now we need to know where this is going to go. Now at the moment we don't have our jacking points underneath the bottom of the car welded on, and this is an access hole for that jacking point. So what we're going to use is we're going to use this rear quarter as a reference where this goes. Now what basically this does is it leaves a hole and it fills this little triangle gap here for when your quarter goes on. So what we're going to do is we're going to hang the quarter, we're going to offer this up, we're going to get this marked up and welded on. We're going to weld this on and see where we get to then. Right, as with all aftermarket parts, they don't fit. You'd think this line here would be level with this line here, so that'd make it there. Kind of looks right. It's never going to fit. The bottom doesn't follow the contour of the bottom of the floor pan, and it's too high up, and this would end up hitting the bottom of this edge. I'll show you on here. If we put it to here, where that line wants to be, it'd be there. Instead, it actually needs to sit like that. And even when it does sit like that, there's not enough taken out of this sill panel. So what we're going to do is we're going to ignore this for now. We're going to make sure this, because I've marked some points on the bottom, sits in the right place. We're also going to ignore this line as well. So for it to be in the correct place and follow the contour of the bottom of there and be in line with this jacking point, it needs to be there. And this line here matches nothing, should be up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount it where it should be and just ignore this pressed in line. Right, so that's the supports on. Now, this here, it looks like rust. It's not, it's actually wax oil. So this, I'm going to weld from the inside a little bit later when I stitch all this corner up. So what we're going to do before we do that, we're actually going to clean all this up, just vaguely, just to make sure there's no surface rust on there. Just going to clean these edges up, and then we're going to prime it all a little bit. We will cavity wax it all when we've completed the car, but we're going to ignore this and we're going to try and get this rear quarter tacked on in a few areas so we can start working on this sill section. Well, the rear quarter is kind of on, and so is the sill. Now those jacking points are well secure and in the right place, which is nice. Now we do have a lot of edges all around, inside here, the back of the bumper. We've got a little bit of a fitment problem here. All that is that corner's keeping a little bit down. It needs to push up a little bit, and we haven't trimmed this sill section off correctly yet here, or at the front, or that end patch as well. So there's still a lot to do before these panels can be attached properly. But that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, leave us a like and smash that subscribe button. And again, thank you for Surfshark for sponsoring this video. And don't forget to check the link below and get yourself a fantastic discount.